there, it's Natasha, and today I have a video for you featuring this Dinosaur die that I picked up from AliExpress. I showed it maybe 1 or 2 hauls ago on another video, and I'm going to give it a go today. So these are just some shades of grey cardstock that I picked out of my stash, and I just want that one dinosaur, so I'm going to kind of angle my cardstock so I don't get the whole lot all cut out. There's actually a light, a medium, and a sort of darker charcoal grey. I don't end up using the darker charcoal grey one. Then you can see that these are his spots to be cut out in the corner, and again I'm just cutting out a little piece in the lighter grey so that I don't get the whole lot cut out, because this is just one large die and you can cut out the pieces that you need. So from here, I'm not sure exactly how this dinosaur is meant to look, and there are lots of pieces on that little die. I made up my own simple version. You can go wild with your imagination on this one, I guess, so do as you please. So I'm just going to use the little quick stick tool and some matte medium to glue on these little spots onto his back. And again, I just put how many on that I thought looked good or that I thought fit. And I guess you could carry them on all down his tail if you wanted to. But yeah, I just liked a little few on his back, really. So now I'm going to add a little googly eye to my dinosaur, and this is how I store my googly eyes, in these little containers. And I just want the littlest ones that I have, so I was going to put 2 eyes on this one. I don't know how many he's meant to have. As I said, this is my own little version of this dinosaur, so I just put one little googly eye on him, and then my dinosaur is pretty much good to go. I'm just going to leave him looking like that. He looks pretty cute in the end, actually. I wasn't sure about these dinosaurs, about how they looked, but I do like this one, I think. So now I have some, these are, as I've said in previous videos, these are the lawn fawn stitched grassy borders and hillside borders, and you can get these ones on AliExpress. This is just what I have, so this is what I use. So I've just run both of them through there on a medium green cardstock and a light green cardstock, and they're going to create the bottom of my scene today. So then I think this is where I wasn't sure what I was doing. I'm going to cut another one of these pieces of grass because I want to cut clumps of grass. I thought that the dinosaur needed a little bit more around his feet to kind of bulk up the grass. So I cut one, and you can see that I'm just cutting wee clumps out of it, and then cutting off the bottom to make it a little bit shorter. I don't end up using these in the final bit. I think it looked fine. I'm not sure what I was thinking now, but that's okay. We all change our mind. So in the meantime, I'm using some Distress Oxide ink and it's the peeled paint color, to give these a darker green, just so that they stand out. I thought they blended into the light green a little too much, so I'm just making sure that they stand out to be a little bit different. So I'm all done with creating my dinosaur now, and I'm going to move on to creating my background. These strips are ones that I used in my previous video, and they're just some masking paper that I use my paper trimmer to cut into thin strips. I wanted to create a bit of a sky background, but something a little bit different, and so I had these sitting on my desk left over, and it gave me the idea to do sort of a wonky lines sky background instead of just the clouds and things that I normally have. So I am just putting them on. I don't want them to look even, I don't want them to look straight. I'm putting them on an angle on purpose and changing it up as I go. I'm going to use some Distress Oxide ink to ink up the background. This is the blue in Broken China. And again, I started off doing it really lightly, and then I thought that the cardstock was really bright and bold, and the whole card was probably a card for a child, so I wanted to make it nice and bright and bold in the background as well. So you can see that I start off really lightly and then I decide to go, I tried it out a little bit and then decided to go all out and nice and dark. You can see down the bottom of the card that I'm not bothering, I'm actually stamping off on the card itself, on the card front, which is fine because it'll be covered up by the grassy hills, so it doesn't matter that there's a little bit down the bottom. But you will see that I had to cover up a wee bit later on because I didn't quite take the blue down low enough. I'm just going to use these little clouds, the tiniest ones, and I've cut 3 out of those because I want to stamp my sentiment on a large cloud die as well. Because this is a distress oxide, I just dried it quickly with my heat gun, and now here comes the reveal of peeling off the strips. Because it's masking paper, they tear off really easily, and they don't take up any of the paper. So you can see here that I just probably needed to go down a wee bit further, but luckily that grassy bit will cover it up at the bottom. So this is how my card is coming together. It's starting to look good. Here's those little grass clumps that I'm playing with, and I think it's about here that I decided that I actually didn't like the look of them. So here I have this happy birthday stamp. To be honest, I don't even remember where I got it from. It's just one that I've had and I like it, so I'm sure you'll be able to have a happy birthday stamp in your stash that you could use. You can see that I did use a speech bubble there. I just hand cut it, and I decided in the end I didn't like how it looked. So I took the largest cloud die and thought that this happy birthday sentiment might fit on there. I've just used the remaining ink to stamp it on top of my transparency, which is acetate, and just to see if it kind of would fit. And then I am going to stamp it on the transparency again because it looked like it would fit, but I want to get the placement really good. So I am putting the cloud die down and trying to adjust the cloud so that I get the majority of the stamp on. I'm wanting to get as much of the B and the Y from birthday as I can, so it doesn't look funny when you stamp it. So I was happy with how it's stamped, and I'm happy with how much you can see. It looks enough to me. So clean off my transparency, and I can get rid of that speech bubble one that I don't like, and I've got my happy birthday cloud good to go. Just adding some liquid adhesive onto the hillside, and then I'm going to add some foam tape. This is foam tape from AliExpress, and it is extremely sticky. So you can see here that you really want some non-stick scissors for this as well. So I am trying to cut it in half, and it is a bit of a process, but it is just fine. So I've cut it in half, and I'm going to add it to the back of that little low grassy piece, and just need to cut a little bit more off so it'll fit, and then stick it down there. And it fits perfectly because I cut it to 4 1/4 before I started die cutting. So just putting the finishing touches together, I'm going to add some foam dots onto the back of my dinosaur because I want him to pop up. In fact, I think I pop up almost everything on this card. So I'm just using some square dots on the back of my dinosaur. I'm using some larger ones, and then I'll use some smaller ones to fill in the spaces. So I'm just going to pop my little dinosaur down. I'm not going to push him down and stick him down hard yet because I want to make sure that I've got everything in the right place. So I've tucked his little feet up under the grass, and then I'm going to put some foam tape on the back of the large cloud and some foam squares on the back of all the smaller clouds. That was my card for today. I hope you enjoyed creating this little dinosaur card along with me. And if you like the card, then give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Make sure you share it around, and I will see you next time for the next card. Thanks so much. See you later. Bye.